An abrasion on the shoulder?
Yeah.
That's all. That is the full extent of it. Okay. Alright.
Senior resident Conrad Lawson is on his ward round. Junior doctors brief him on the latest crop of new patients.
History showed that he was relatively well until, while visiting a particular community, it is alleged he was attacked by citizens with machete, knife, and blunt objects. There was a history of loss of consciousness. There was a 3 centimeter superficial laceration to the upper arm, left upper arm. To the left forearm, there was a 2 centimeter superficial laceration.
Right. What is the injury of importance to us here?
One.
He has a chop to.
And two, we have two there.
That's due to a chop or a fall?
Chop.
So they almost chopped this man's arm off completely. Who chopped you, sir?
My name Brown.
You have chopped here too?
Come.
Jeez. Oh, this man has a big hole in his head. But you're a very lucky man, sir.
He was being attacked by unknown assailant and was chopped several times to the body.
So you have been chopped before, and you are chopped again now. War wounds. You're in the middle of a war, apparently. I was in England for almost 5 years, in the south of England, where I did my orthopedic training. Okay, sir. I felt very out of place to come home to KPH. That was frightening. The type of injuries that I saw, I never saw in England. Gunshot wounds, victims of domestic violence, machete wounds. That is what I found quite shocking. I've not seen a gunshot wound in the 5 years that I was in England, and the first day I'm back here on the job, I have 2 or 3 on the ward. You just have to get on with it, which is what I did. You are now able to go home, sir. Okay? I'm certain you are happy about that. You are? Say it for everybody to hear. That's a good smile, yes. Very good. We patch them up. Patch up the victims of the domestic violence, only to hear them muttering under their breath as they're going through the door that they are going to get the person who sent them there. And you know that within a week, or sometimes within a few hours, somebody else will be coming in with pretty much the same injuries or worse. And that is a direct result of you sending somebody out. Good morning, young lady. How are you? Not too bad. What happened to you again? How old are you? You're 12 years old and you were shot. Okay. Where was this? Okay, downtown.
Yeah.
What happened to you? How you got shot?
I was crossing the road.
They were crossing the road?
Yeah.
And what?
I hear the gunshot. I did in the middle of the road and I hear the gunshot. I began to start to run. And when I nearly come out of the road, I got the shot.
So you heard one gunshot and then you started to run and then you heard more. And then that was when you got shot. So how is the leg feeling? I'm going to put a little bit more weight on it to straighten out the bone some more. Okay? Alright. As if you don't have enough to worry about when you're 12 years old, also have to worry about being shot while walking on the street.
But you all seem to take that kind of patient in your stride. It doesn't faze any of you.
Well, after seeing how many dozen now, you know, to a certain extent you get used to it. Never ends. It never ends.
Downstairs, about 150 outpatients are waiting to see the orthopedic surgeons. They make an ideal congregation for a roving preacher.
Mr. Holness?
Yes.
How are you, sir? What happened to you?
I make a slip. So when I make the slip, I slide. And the weight go and drop on the foot and the brain.
You weren't coming home from the bar, were you?
Well, I did have one.
I thought I'd ask. All right.
Take off the t-shirt. This is something you probably won't see in Britain. Let's take it right off, man. Alright? People settle their domestic disputes with acid. Alright? This is he's an old victim. You can see where the acid has run down the skin and left him with horrible scars. It's usually concentrated sulfuric acid that is used to do this type of injury. They buy it at the chemist and they keep it as a weapon.
How did that happen to you?
This people,
A girlfriend.
He was beaten by citizens, like some lynch justice. For what? I don't know what happened to him.
He was beaten.
Beaten by citizens. Most likely he was taking something or stealing something. Why they beat you?
No, them feels I'm involved in something.
Like what?
Murder.
Junior resident Dr. Bushman. Bushman is from Germany. He's the only white doctor at KPH. He's finding it hard to concentrate today. Last night at about 3, 2 men tried to break into his apartment.
My girlfriend heard some noise and went there for the noise to check the door. So she saw the handle moving and she wanted to check it. And in that time the door was opened, it opened to outside and a guy was there and tried to, a huge guy I saw, tried to pull us through the grill and two persons killed. And
What did you do?
she escaped and screaming all over the place. And but the guys were very cool, they just went for some tool and tried to break off the lock. They even went inside to the grill. And they didn't bother, like we weren't there, they didn't bother. So I called the police 119, the same number like everywhere. And they were there in 4 minutes. So. And later on I heard some gunshots. But anyway.
You were scared?
Of course I was very scared.
I never find this guy. But I know there shall be a brighter day.
Bushman lives close to the hospital with his girlfriend Avril.
Why do you have all those alarms?
Oh, in case they cut off the phone or somebody, at least you can make some noise that might chase away thieves.
No, since the break-in, I'm quite scared, I don't know. So we try to secure ourselves as best as possible.
And other people say, oh yeah, it happened to us already. Now you realize how many people it happened already. Because you didn't pay so much mind, you know it happened, but I told a lot of people and then, this happened to me already, and I even had to move because it happened to me already, and so on and so on. And
more people get paranoid or so,
no,
I don't want to be running all over the place, but you need to secure yourself,
I think so.
More skin. More skin suture.
More skin?
More skin suture, yeah.
More skin what?
Both. No, we have Victory here. No problem. People say it might be good to get a firearm, and I know people, quite a lot of people who have it.
You know doctors who have firearms?
Yeah, I know doctors who are walking around with firearms, certainly. Like this situation in the night, it's you or him. And you might not have a choice. It's hard to describe, but you see the coldness in their eyes, and those people are really killers. They wouldn't have any mercy on you, so you can't have any mercy on them. It's you or them.
Bushman's boss is orthopedic consultant Warren Blake.
I come home late at night in a remote area of Kingston. We are targets, and it's something we have to face. When you see me, you see my firearm. It's always with me. I do not leave it anywhere. And I go to operating theater with it. It's in the bathroom with me. I sleep with it at night. It's my closest friend. People ask me this every day. How can I reconcile being a doctor carrying a gun, which is meant to take human life? My answer is simple. The most important life to save is my own. And if people are coming to do me harm and danger, then I will have to defend myself.
A young man has been shot. Police have brought him in to have him pronounced dead.
Like sometimes they bring 2 or 3 same time in a pickup, shot gunmen, and you pronounce them dead.
How often do you see a commotion like this?
I used to work at Casualty, and there, in average, maybe once a day, in average.
So it doesn't upset you anymore?
Oh, it's not upsetting. It's not upsetting me. I mean, these are really gunmen usually, who killed many people already, and no, that's not. Other things might upset me, but not that.
The body is taken off to the morgue, known as the dead house.
I hear you've decided to move house.
Yeah, I spoke to several people again, and the more I think about it, the more I think it's too dangerous. We can't stay, so we'll come back anyway. Better I could. There's more people maybe with guns. So I just move later on. Wait for the next robbery.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Minutes later, the young man's mother arrives, desperate to find out whether her son is alive.
Just let me and live in home, you know. I watch video. Please let me go. No, don't tell me that soon come back. Him dead. Him dead. Him dead. Him dead, don't he?
I don't know.
No. Don't make me go in now.
No, you're not going to be wrong. You're not going to be wrong.
Him dead. Him dead. Him dead. Don't tell me that I'm dead now. Just tell me that. Police shot him. Him don't do anything. Don't do anything. Come here him the right. Them shot him inside. I watch the TV. I watch the video, right? And them just come after me inside, right? And me only hear the gunshot them. And when me go on my house, them say at him, them shut up. For nothing at all. And him don't do anything. Him went and call up a business place to find out if everything is okay.
Where are you going now?
We're going by down by the dead house.
It's midnight. Dr. Bushman has been on duty for about 17 hours. Earlier on this evening, a woman was brought into casualty with a crushed ankle. The wound may be infected, and there's a danger that she'll lose a leg. Bushman knows he must get her into the operating theater tonight.
We just got a motor vehicle accident with a crush injury to the ankle. It's very dirty and it needs cleanup. But we booked it for theater, and at 9 p.m. they said we come at 10. At 10, one stab wound to the heart is there, which takes maybe half of the night to operate on, and a gunshot, the patient is in shock. So it means this patient will bounce out again and needs to wait hours, maybe 12 hours, maybe longer. She's lying down there sleeping in the corner. Maybe she shouldn't wake up. A young girl, still 28. Now she's 27 years old. Maybe so she has to wait.
On the male ward, Bushman has another patient to attend to. A middle-aged man has broken his neck and he needs to be put into traction. In Britain, this would be done under anesthetic in an operating theatre. But at KPH, limited theatre time leaves doctors with no choice but to operate on the wards. To pull the spine straight, some weights attached to a clamp must be fitted to the patient's head. Before he can attach the clamp, Bushman must first drill some holes.
You will feel, hello, you feel a lot of noise now. It's very scary, but it shouldn't pain you. You just feel a lot of noise in your head. It's soon finished. Nothing can happen to you. It's so that it never can go through the brain. Just make a little nick in the bone, in the skull. So we'll hear a lot of noise now. But
if I let my teeth out, you won't.
Oh, all right.
Let them roll.
You will hear a lot of noise, and vibration, but it shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't pain you much. Okay, you? Okay, you? The good thing about it is like working like a scissors. If you pull attraction, it's closing itself. The hand, yeah. This is why you pull it on traction. You pull out this spine and hope then the pain will go in the hand.
Are you going home soon?
No. No, I'm not going home. I can't go home today. I still try to get the patient into theatre. The surgery alone will just take maybe 40 minutes, but to get into theatre you spend the entire night. Won't sleep for now. Sometimes patients coming to the place and said, my girlfriend, who chopped you? A terrible chop over the hand. And then you ask them, who chopped you? My girlfriend chopped you, and the girlfriend is right beside her, and that's not a big thing. It's almost barbarian. It's not an official war here, and it's not even a civil war, but since a domestic violence is like this, it's like war. If you can't go outside at certain hours and this and that, it's like war. This total, unnecessary, useless chop up and shoot up and acid and all this rubbish. But, I mean, it's a routine. I think it's really a routine. So, long time I didn't think about these things. I just work. And it's so normal, it's so present and normal to me that you see it, you don't think it's so much about it again. You see a gunshot, you look at it. You don't ask, I stop asking long time how this or that happened, because I'm not interested in these foolish stories. My boyfriend did this, my baby mother did this, and so on. So it's totally useless. Always the same, the principle is the same story. Or some gunman came and robbed and shoot around. Or we were on a dancing hall and outside, and some gunmen team up the place, and so it's always the same. Basically, it's the same, and you don't want to hear it again. You just treat the patient.
By 4 that morning, the general surgeons had finished with the stab and gunshot victims, and the operating theatre was empty. But as Bushman began to prepare for the operation, theatre staff working the night shift told him they were going home. Dr. Bushman's patient was forced to wait for her operation.
Girl in the corner.
Yes.
What are you doing from early?
Good morning. Morning. Hit by car to the left ankle 4 days ago, sustaining a fracture dislocation of the ankle joint. We tried to get her into theatre that night, and I spent until 4 o'clock a.m. But after 4 a.m. they said they can't do any more cases because they are tired and blah blah. So from 4 to 8 nothing was going on. I documented it, but nothing will come out of it.
I know. Okay.
So finally next morning we got her done, but unfortunately 24 hours post-injury, and I'm sure it will become infected.
How is the leg feeling now?
Feeling better?
It's feeling better.
We are expecting some trouble now.
Okay, well, things are not looking too badly. The wound is not looking too badly, and if it continues to settle down like this, we would have won. All right? Very good.
We are lucky.
I think so. She's good.
See another idiot there, how he tried to cut into the traffic? Typical. This makes me sick. And if he thinks I let him in now, he makes a sad mistake.
Bushman is in good spirits. It looks as though his patient will be okay, and he's on his way home to see Avril. But still unresolved is the question of whether or not to buy a gun.
I don't want him to get a gun. I don't want him to get a gun, no. I don't feel safe with a gun.
I don't know, I'm not sure. Many doctors also say you need to get one. Apart from the fact you need to move, you need to get one.
I don't think he's going to. Well, for right now, we could not, we don't have to do that right now.
Yeah,
we could think about it in the future.
If I have something like this again, I don't think you would hesitate at all.
Avril has won the argument. She's persuaded Bushman that the best course of action is to look for a new place to live, in a safer neighborhood. For now at least, no need for a gun.
Oh, dog like me. Bushman, this girlfriend of yours. That Jamaican girl? Yeah. What are you saying to me? So how long you know her now?
No, when I'm exposed
from Sunsplash. No. Seriously? Long time. I have never seen her. What is her name? Speak up loud for the camera.
Avril.
Avril.
She was born in April, they didn't know any names for her.
So tell me, that's the reason why you won't go back home to Germany?
What's that, Bushman? What's that?
It's about time we stop talking about things.
Sign language, okay?
It has a significant influence.
One Bush, let us ask a foreigner. Let us ask Bushman. Let us ask Bushman to say one good thing about KPH.
Go back to the floor.
Seriously,
some serious good things or some sarcastic stuff? No?
Serious good things. One good thing.
Good relationship to the colleagues and superiors. Bad relationship to the nurses.
That's a good word for the university.
I think for the facilities and for the staff that we have, KPH is doing a job, it's fantastic. Just that we all have a lot higher expectations of the place. We patch them up, patch up the victims of the domestic violence, only to hear them muttering under their breath as they're going through the door that they are going to get the person who sent them there. And you know that within a week or sometimes within a few hours, somebody else will be coming in with pretty much the same injuries or worse. And that is a direct result of you sending somebody out. Good morning, young lady. How are you? Not too bad. What happened to you again? How old are you? You're 12 years old and you were shot. Okay. Where was this? Okay, downtown. What happened to you? How you got shot? Sir? I felt very out of place to come home to KPH. That was frightening. The type of injuries that I saw, I never saw in England. Gunshot wounds, victims of domestic violence, machete wounds. That is what I found quite shocking. I've not seen a gunshot wound in the 5 years that I was in England, and the first day I'm back here on the job, I have 2 or 3 on the ward. You just have to get on with it, which is what I did. You are now able to go home, sir. Okay? I'm certain you are happy about that. You are? Say it for everybody to hear. That's a good smile, yes. Very good. That's due to a chop or a fall?
Chop.
So they almost chopped this man's arm off completely. Who chopped you, sir?
My name Brown.
You have chopped here too?
Come.
Jeez. Oh, this man has a big hole in his head. But you're a very lucky man, sir.
We see that he was being attacked by unknown assailant and was chopped several times to the body.
So you have been chopped before, and you are chopped again now. War wounds. You're in the middle of a war, apparently. I was in England for almost 5 years, in the south of England, where I did my orthopedic training. Okay, so... Yeah. That's all. That is the full extent of it. Okay. All right.
Senior resident Conrad Lawson is on his ward round. Junior doctors brief him on the latest crop of new patients.
History showed that he was relatively well until, while visiting a particular community, it is alleged he was attacked by citizens with machete, knife, and blunt objects. There was a history of loss of consciousness. There was a 3 centimeter superficial laceration to the upper arm, left upper arm. To the left forearm, there was a 2 centimeter superficial laceration.
Right. What is the injury of importance to us here?
One.
He has a chop to...
And two, we have two there.
That's